Good evening. At 7 o'clock, we'll call to order the July 10th, 2025 Danby Select Board meeting. Would you please rise and join the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Matt, would you please call the roll?
Haines.
Here.
Bowler.
Here.
Abbott.
Here.
Heaton.
Here.
Bender.
Here. And you said we have Sharon White.
Online we have Gary Deere, Lizzie, and Sharon White. And iPhone 3. If they can identify themselves, I'll let you know who it is.
Okay. Before I read the procedure for public access, I'd like to make a statement about the Zoom issue. It would be nice to say that the problems with the treasurer are over, but they're really not behind us yet. We have a ton of accounts payable that have not been addressed at this point. Then we get into tricky situations, and Zoom is a good example of it, where they only take credit cards. So we had to cancel, obviously, the town credit card. And M&T Bank, with whom we deal, their municipal division, has not yet issued the new credit card. So we're in a catch-22. And if it's an inconvenience, I apologize for it, but we're doing the best that we can. Okay, so the procedure, as you all know by heart, is that the Danby Select Board and Planning Commission meetings are open to the public in person and remotely, but are not public meetings per se. Public attendees, both in person and remote participants, who wish to comment on agenda items will be given an opportunity at the beginning of each meeting to do so. As in the past, written communications may also be sent to the boards for consideration. Business is conducted and votes are cast by board members. The chat feature is only to be used by remote participants to alert the host to technical difficulties. It's not for private conversations. To maintain order as well as efficiency of the meeting, the rules for public participation are: remote attendees will be muted by the online host upon joining the meeting, remaining so unless recognized to speak. Participants should arrive on time and state their name for the record. Those who desire to speak in order to comment or question should use the hand-raising function and will be recognized in the order in which the hands were raised. Remote participants, when recognized, will unmute and clearly identify themselves by first and last name and the area of town in which you reside. Comments and questions are limited to 2 to 3 minutes. Anyone who desires to speak longer than that should arrange to be placed on the agenda beforehand and appear in person at the meeting unless extenuating circumstances happen and the board is contacted. General ground rules are that speakers will not be interrupted. There will be no crosstalk between members of the audience. The speaker will treat the proceedings and other speakers with dignity and respect, addressing the issue, not the personalities. If something is overlooked and needs to be discussed under new business, the floor will be reopened for public comment at that time.
We have Gary Deere has his hand up.
Okay, well, let's get right into it then. Well, first of all, we're going to set the agenda. So, the agenda has 2 additions to it, as you see handwritten in there on the lower left corner. We have 2 more fleet permits that came in, one from Consolidated Communications and one from Beacon Sales Acquisition. Does anybody have anything else to add We also have a deletion. We will not be having an auditor's report tonight.
Are we gonna be having a treasurer's report? Because I see she's not there.
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay.
I will be making some statements, and we will probably have some discussion about some of the things that need to be addressed.
So I'll make the motion, we set the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And now we'll move on to,
Haines,
We really need to, for the people remote,
So-
we need to know who is setting and seconding.
Steve Haines made the motion and
Thank you.
Tom seconded.
Thank you both.
and the motion passed unanimously. So now we'll move on to public comment. And I understand Gary has his hand up.
Yes, can you hear me now?
We can.
Good. First, I want to express my appreciation to Shelley and to Drea, who did an exceptional job providing both an audio and a video access to the public hearings of the Planning Commission and the recent Planning Commission meeting. It was very helpful for somebody who could not attend in person to be able to see the meeting as well as hear the meeting. So I just want to express my appreciation. I don't know if they're there tonight, but thank you very much for that. Again, I would ask the select board to reconsider their decision not to provide video because it worked very well at a large public hearing as well too. Second thing, I would like to request the select board change the order of the agenda to move the Planning Commission report up earlier, since it's likely anybody that is on this meeting remote is going to be pushed off in about 30 to 40 minutes and will likely not be able to rejoin the meeting and will not be able to hear the report. So I just request that the select board make that adjustment to the agenda so that those of us who are here to hear specifically about that will be able to. Thank you very much.
Okay. So Gary, the only items we have coming up are approving the minutes. That usually takes about 30 seconds. And then a motion to ratify an action and renew the sheriff's contract. So we're not talking about anything more than 5 minutes of motions before we get to the Planning Commission report.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else? Beth?
Hi. I'm Beth Thompson. I live up on Edmonds Road near Smoky House. And first I wanted to say thank you to Shelley for the way she conducted the meetings, both of them, the public hearing and the Planning Commission's meeting 2 nights ago. She was flexible and allowed people to speak and ask clarifying questions through the course of the entire meeting. And as a citizen, I just felt like it was very inclusive and welcoming. And thank you. It was refreshing to have that happen. Interestingly, what I wanted to say mostly tonight was what Gary referred to too, and I didn't even know he was going to say that. I really think this board needs to talk and make a decision about allowing there to be video coverage of these meetings. As a person who's now tried to be online for the last couple or so, and I've been on crutches, I can't always get down here. It was really, really hard to follow the meeting without having the video attached. It just makes it harder. I even went back because there was stuff that I got very confused about at the last meeting, and I did look at the PEG TV version so that I could hear those things and see them. And it's amazing how much you get from seeing somebody's lips move, and also it's good for us to, see the demeanor and body language of the people that are talking. I wanted to ask William, are we capable of having PEG TV broadcast live while you're videographing?
Question for my boss.
Okay. All right, and I'll talk to you later about another question for your boss having to do with the Planning Commission. I feel like the decision was made to take the video away just kind of like out of the blue and unilaterally. I don't know if you all ever talked about it, but I would like you to talk about it, and I would really like you to consider. Matt Blouin, is it just as simple as undoing the line through the video icon
It's that along with getting a video.
and
To
maybe
attack,
turning your
turning
computer
and getting
so that you
her
can
hand to do
see.
that, but
Or
yes.
sitting over here, sitting in a different place. It's that simple. And I, for one, I don't know if any of you have ever been on the remote access. It's really hard to follow the meeting and understand what's going on without seeing it. And I wish you'd reconsider it, and I wish someone would bring a motion to include video in the remote access once you get through this debacle, with the bills and the credit card and the, oh, God.
That's only the tip of the iceberg. Thank you, Beth.
Sure.
Others?
So I'd like to make a comment. I was discussing with Lana about the auditor. She had requested that, the auditing done by a professional entity. I know we discussed it at the last town meeting. If you could comment on where that is and how that's gonna move forward, that'd be helpful.
Okay, I contacted
Sullivan and Powers.
Sullivan and Powers, who did our last several audits, an outside auditing firm from the Burlington area. And they said, you're not ready for an audit. So until things get put into some kind of logical order, it's just a waste of their time. And once we get back on track, then it might be a possibility, particularly if our local auditors feel they have discovered irregularities that need to be investigated.
Okay. And just a personal request that I have is, I know that, there's a lot of work being done to catch up by the treasurer and by the auditors for that fact. And it would be helpful if the town considered, I know Doug White is very experienced, and I also know he did bill for his time. But we have limited resources who understand the process of treasurer, and it certainly, I think, would help Katlyn tremendously if she was able to tap into those resources. If they don't volunteer their time, even if we had to pay for it, it would probably outweigh the late fees that we're getting charged in the meantime, so.
As far as I know, she has an appointment scheduled on Tuesday with Nimerick.
Okay.
And I personally would rather see her get training right from the horse's mouth.
Okay, thank you.
Others? No others? Okay, we'll close the public portion, and I'll entertain a motion to adopt the minutes of the select board meetings of June 12th and June 14th.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Fuller, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Haines. Any corrections, deletions, changes?
Just a question, when I looked on the town website, under the June 12th and June 14th, it looked like both those had the June 14th meeting on minutes on them, the draft. So June 12th, you opened it up, it was actually June 14th, open up the 14th, it was the 14th, if that matters.
Well, it does.
No, I'm just saying, that's what I saw when I opened up the draft.
Can you check on that, Matt, please? We want the correct dates on there.
Correct minutes for the correct date.
Right. So, would Mr. Fuller and Mr. Haines care to include that in their motion?
Well, are the minutes on the website anything of the official minutes, or are
No,
they just?
They're just drafts.
Yeah, then I'm still approving the minutes for making the motion to approve the minutes as on the,
Just
that were
correct the
actual.
dates.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Now we need a motion to ratify the action to appoint Katlyn Parker as town treasurer that was taken at the emergency meeting of June 14th.
I'll make the motion.
I will second that.
Haines made the motion, seconded by Abbott. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of ratifying that action, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. And the next item is to remove from the table the motion to renew the Rutland County Sheriff contract.
I'll make a motion to remove from the table the renewal of the Rutland County Sheriff contract.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion is made by Heaton, seconded by Fuller. There's no discussion on a motion to remove. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is carried. Now I'll entertain a motion to approve the renewal of the revised Rutland County Sheriff contract.
Do you have that?
I do. And Sheriff Fox lowered his price. He did make a mistake, which he asked me to just strike out an initial. So we will be getting slightly fewer hours of patrol time. And that will consume our budgeted amount.
It's back under our budget.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so originally he had the same, he had the lowered hours in one spot and then the old hours in another, so he fixed it.
I'll make the motion, we approve the revised sheriff's contract.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Haines, seconded by Fuller, to renew the revised contract. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. And now we'll go to the,
Can I ask a question? How many hours are there now for, you said they lowered the hours?
the billing period will be for 24 hours of patrol time bi-weekly, for a total of 624 hours for the year. Okay, so that motion carried unanimously, and we'll now move on to the Planning Commission report, and we have our Planning Commission Chair, Shelley, here with us.
Hello, I'm Shelley Taylor. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the chair of the Planning Commission. The report is concerning our public hearing that we had on the 18th, I believe, and the meeting that we had just Tuesday past. The proposal was put forth by Fuller Sand and Gravel and, or Tom Fuller, and Mrs. Whalen, to change the land use for that piece of property, 11 point something acres. The vote was as followed. There were 3 yeses, 1 no, 2 abstentions, and 1 recusal. Per the town attorney's advice, that does not constitute passing. So the Planning Commission will not at this time suggest that the town plan be amended to...
Do you have that in writing from the town attorney?
I have an email, yes.
Okay, we'd like to have a copy of that, please.
I'll send it right to you. And that's all I have.
Okay. Any questions for Shelley? Okay, then the next item is the treasurer's report. As I stated earlier, we're happy to have Katlyn. She has 12 years of experience between Rutland Hospital and the pediatric center up there. I'm not sure of the name of it. So she has a good business office background. Learning Limerick is a challenge. It would be for anybody, but she has at least been diligent about the payroll, and she understands that. She's still having some issues with accounts payable, and there's some little glitch, whether it's a password or whatever, that's not letting her process checks. So she to the best of my knowledge, was waiting for a response from the lady at Nimerick, whose name is Cynthia, and hopefully having her come down for a training on Tuesday. And we hope that that works. There were, I think it was 2,247 emails that had not been opened since January, many of which had invoices attached to them. And she's processing all that.
Brad, I talked to her, I think it was last week, I was in here, and I talked a little bit and asked her how things were going, and what she felt she needed to help. And the NIMRIC thing was a big part of it. And she's talked to Cynthia about getting some training, which obviously they're going to bill us for, but I feel that's worthwhile because we did appoint someone who did not have really a lot of financial background. But I also think, she said that she also needs, everything is kind of, a lot of this is new to her, a lot more than what someone with a financial background would be, and we knew that when we appointed her. And to me, I think she needs a little bit more help than just NIMRIC. And, I'm not saying Doug's the person, but Doug does have some knowledge, and I know it's a few years ago, and I know it's money, but I think she needs more help than just NIMRIC. And NIMRIC, they're gonna help her with that system, but she also doesn't have, a ton of financial experience. And I'm open to suggestions outside of Doug, but I don't know,
Well, Doug put together two very beautiful manuals there that lay it out step by step. And I think if she goes through that with the NIMRIC person, and there's a question about something other than accounts payable, let's see if it's in the book, and let's see if that's the way they suggest doing it.
My only thing is she's trying to catch up. So my only thing,
It's tough to learn and catch up at the same time.
I'm just saying, to me, there might be some value, and like I said, I'm open to suggestions, but there's some value to get someone to help get her to advance that, because when you're trying to look at manuals, when you're really, to me, it's quite a thing to be thrown into, and we're putting effort into her, and I want her to succeed, and to me, it's in our best interest.
Now, how much did we have in our budget for training on?
For the treasurer, there isn't any.
Now, we do have budgeted money for training in general, though, don't we?
There's under computers, there's under some other under items, but not under the treasurer.
Yeah. So that could be used, and she also has right in the next office a former treasurer with 35 years worth of experience, who may not be up to speed on NIMRIC, but certainly remembers how other things, grants and whatnot, are done.
Well, for what it's worth, I think if she needs extra help, whether it be Doug or Jen or Janice, if somebody can help us get back up to speed quicker, I'm not opposed to paying somebody to help us get back up to speed quicker.
Janice, who is a paid employee, has volunteered to do it on her time that she's already paid for. So that's a positive.
Now, does anybody know how many days she's put into working on the system so far?
I'm not positive. I want to say 6.
Do you know, Steve?
I don't know exactly how many, because a lot of times we're out of here before the office people get here, and we don't come back usually until they're gone. Depending on the day, we might not see anybody for 3 or 4 days in a row.
I mean, we want her, she's gonna be pretty well overwhelmed for a little while anyways, as far as getting into things. And I guess, is she the one asking for?
When I talked to her, I asked her, how's it going? I asked her, is there something we can do to help you? And she basically was saying that she would welcome assistance. And she mentioned, Doug had offered, but Doug, he charges. But to me, she is.
Well, then,
and I just think that we should do something to provide, whether we want Doug, Janice, somebody. I just think it's in our best interest to help.
And we have NIMRIC coming this week.
That's my understanding.
I'm wondering if she gets the NIMRIC training first before, if that would help her with the computer end, instead of trying to put in what, if we're talking the beginning of the week, and is she actually even working previous to that?
I mean, I can reach out to her. I'm happy to reach out to her and ask her, but I think that she's gonna accept help if we are willing to provide it to her. She's gonna take some help.
Right.
And that's why I encouraged her to meet with Cynthia. She's on vacation, Katlyn is on vacation this week, that's why she's not here. But she did come in from vacation to do payroll the other day, and she processed some accounts payable, and we talked. She's a quick learner, she's a good.
I'm not saying she isn't, but I feel like she was reaching out, looking for some assistance, and I think we should find a way to offer that to her. And I don't think we have to spend $6,000 on training, but I think we can do it in a reasonable fashion that gives her the best chance of succeeding. It's in our best interest to have her.
But what is your feelings about Janice helping as the initial help, and if that doesn't,
Well, yeah.
you know, we have
as long as Janice
NIMRIC
can do
for
it.
it, that should be the ones that are gonna actually teach you the software. We could start with Janice, like Brad said, as the first one, and if it's beyond a question Janice could answer, then we could move up the ladder.
Janice is willing, and she can do it when it's, when it works, when Caitlin and her can coordinate, and it's helpful. Then I'm fine with that too. I just want to make sure it happens.
Well, because my only thoughts with Janice is she's here for 8 hours while Caitlin's here. And if I got a 2-minute question for you and you come over and answer that, and then you go back to she goes back and she works on something for a little while, then she has the ability to kind of come back as a.
And I think Janice is doing that now. It's when I was there, she did come over there and talk to Janice, with a question. But I also think it's looking for someone that might be there get there for an hour or two, that can sit there and really go through some of the way things.
Some more intensive.
That's just my take, and I would happily follow up with her and confirm what I think she was telling us, but that's what I think.
Right.
Right, and I think the quicker we can get a handle on everything, it's to our benefit, even if it costs us a little bit to do it.
See, I guess I would like to hear from Katlyn with the board, what her direction is, because I think the NIMRIC definitely is going to help her on that. And then the other end, you're thinking she's more on the financial end, doesn't understand the accounts receivable and payables.
Some of that stuff, and just the basic, how everything goes with the town. She's not.
Right, municipal, yeah, it's its own entity.
Laid out how clear how things.
Right, no,
work. And someone who's been here, and I say Dougie or Janice, does understand somehow how the process works.
The investing end of things, I think, is what you're referring to.
Happily, I can reach out to her and see if she will put something in writing to us, so you guys all have it, something. I just want to.
Well, I don't think anyone, at least I know it sounds like everybody's on board with it, but I guess I don't want to just throw 100 things at her and say, okay, we're going to give you Doug, Janice, and NIMRIC all this week, and she's sitting there, and it's like one, trying to, and you can only teach somebody things so quick, and seat time is something we use in our industry, and that's kind of a lot of it, and that's why my question was to everybody was, how long has she actually, the first 3 days you're pretty much overwhelmed just sitting there.
Right, and I will reach out to her when she's off vacation.
And she needs time to go through files. The files are in disarray.
Right.
There's a lot, but she's going to have to put the time into it. And I've told her, please don't hesitate to ask questions.
But I'm on board.
The bank has been extremely helpful, and they've sent people down here. So if she has questions on investing or that end of it, that's all available to her.
Okay.
May I speak from?
Go ahead. Yes.
Thank you. The meeting will end in 10 minutes.
Okay.
I can say that.
So, anything else on the treasurer?
Can I ask a question?
Not at this time. The public portion is early on. Anything else from the board on the treasurer? Okay. Then next comes appointing workers for dump day. We have not been successful in finding anybody who is available on the 19th to run what I call the gate, where you pay with for the items you're going to dispose of. Does anybody want to volunteer for that? It's not a volunteer, it is a paid position. Any interest, or anybody know anybody? Well, that seems to be the way of it. So then I will entertain a motion to cancel dump day for 2025.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Please clarify Fuller and
Fuller was the mover of the motion to cancel dump day for 2025, and Haines seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There will be no dump day this year. Road Commissioners report. Shall we take the fleet permits?
Yeah, go ahead
First,
and let's do that.
we have fleet permits for Hunter Excavating, Transport and Timber Harvesting, Consolidated Communications, and Beacon Sales Acquisition. Is there a motion to?
I'll make the motion we approve the fleet permits.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve the fleet permits by Haines and Fuller. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Current projects.
Go ahead, Steve.
Well, in the past couple of weeks, we went around and touched up grading, made sure that roads were passable for 4th of July. We've worked on roadside mowing, and now we're back to ditching. Currently, we're on Danby Hill. We removed 10 load of material today.
Saw you've been able to get rid of it good and close on a lot of projects, so.
We're trying to get rid of it close, but we don't have a lot of places.
Like, how are we doing? I mean, like percentage wise, I know grading, mowing, like, are we like making good progress? Are we doing just the, the vital stuff? 'Cause I know you guys are short-handed, so I mean.
Larry and I are running around with a first aid kit, throwing Band-Aids
Right.
at everything.
Right.
So we're kind of bouncing from hot spot to hot spot, and we're not gaining, we're maintaining. I have probably, well, with the help of Daniel, I think is who mowed North Main.
Yeah.
We have 80% of the blacktop has been mowed one pass, and several dirt roads have had one pass, but we're probably 40% of the town is mowed.
It's not a criticism either, I'm just trying, because we just really gotta find a.
Unfortunately, a lot of projects we need 2 people on, and
Oh, I know, you can't do it right. It's a killer.
You can't ditch and grade at the same time, you can't ditch and mow at the
That's
same
me,
time.
you gotta,
It's-
you need the third person.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to see.
4 people would be nice, because we could have had 2 people in trucks today while we were ditching.
Yeah, the ditching really gets slowed down with the 2 people.
Right.
I mean, 3 increases it by double, and it's more than, yeah.
And like, lately we've been pulling ditches with the grader. Larry will pull the ditches and I'm loading trucks.
Yeah.
Where if we had more drivers, he could stay in the grader and stay a lot further ahead of me than what we pull.
Right.
Any update on summer employment? Sounds like it didn't last too long.
Well, we had one young fella come to work for us for a day. He did a wonderful job when he was here, and then he went back to his former employer for more money, so.
So you're that hard to work for.
I'm not hard to work for, yep. Yep, he was an excellent worker, and he was a very polite, courteous young man, but I can't blame him for leaving for $4 an hour more than what he was getting.
Okay, so we're still looking for some summer help, if it could be.
Would we would it be worth our while to hire some extra, what do I want to say, a subcontractor to help us on some of this stuff? As you're ditching or doing anything like that? I mean,
I guess the only concern with that is it's not really budgeted.
Right.
And I don't know, it's tough to get guys to come work for free with equipment.
right.
And I don't know. The only thing that we probably, but you guys usually do a pretty good, is the culverts. We could probably do a RFP on, at some point. I don't know if we still want to talk about doing them, or you guys kind of had that all planned out anyways, so.
The ones on Timoth Line.
Yeah.
At this point in time, the ones on Timoth Line, and this is just me speaking, I think we should change them this year and patch them and not blacktop up there this year.
All right.
Give that time to settle in better, because I think we're getting too late in the year for it. And
Patch to get the culverts.
to get the culvert settled in good, because I'd hate to grind it and then end up with the divot on new blacktop.
What's your thoughts on culvert time now?
As soon as I can get the blacktop cut.
Did you get a thickness on that?
No.
See, if we're gonna patch it, we gotta cut it. If we don't patch it, or if we were gonna grind it after, we probably could have ripped it but I didn't know what we had for thickness there.
I don't know what there is for thickness, and
Okay.
Okay, anything else on the roads? Any old business? Any new business? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Fuller. Seconded by, we're gonna give that one to Greg. Second by Heaton, all in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned at 7:38.